Hey, y'all. Hey, Rebel Stars, my people that love me. I'm going to give you a full reveal of some BS that I'm going through. Okay, I just wanted to share because I know other people are going through the same kind of hell. And I was like, we can share ways out. So this is going to be my little commercial for some things that have helped me, and also a reveal of I bet you didn't know. Did you know this? Bet you didn't know this. So I'm Angela Shelton. I'm a big mouth. I make movies. I write books. I'm a speaker. Mainly, my biggest thing I do in the life is actually helping men. Ironic, you do what now? I know. Who knew that happened. That showed up out of everything I've ever done. So I made these two movies, Eagle and the Albatross and The Hammer / Heart Baby. It was originally called Heart Baby. It will always be Heart Baby to me. It's a prison boxing movie. And Eagle is a golf comedy, very cute. And starring Amber Liu. She became a golfer. She's a K-pop star. And I originally started making movies with Tumbleweeds, was my first one, about my mom. Very funny. I now go live on my TikTok with my mom. Oh, wait, but my TikTok got stolen and hacked. Yeah. Oh, God. So, you know what's crazy? Is when you're doing good things in the world, I feel like you just constantly get hit by perps. Is that true? Does anybody else feel that? Anybody in family court understands what I'm talking about. And, dealing with the pandemic and the corruption and the lies in our government. What? Yeah, so there's that. But then on an individual level, it's like you get hit and hit and hit. And man, I have been hit. I mean, it's a joke now. I'm like, oh, that's funny. So to give you a little history, I started with Tumbleweeds. It was based on my mom. We won Sundance, the Filmmakers Trophy. It was amazing. I made a bunch of money. I bought a house. I went to Africa. I bought a car. I was living the dream in LA. I was living in the hills. I was writing screenplays. I adapted books mainly. That was my thing. I'm very good at it and very fast. If you have a book you want to adapt in a screenplay, call me. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not. And I had this idea for a documentary after I did Tumbleweeds that was searching for Angela Shelton. And I went searching for Angela Shelton. I drove around the country with my crew, and I met every Angela who would talk to me, Angela Shelton. Some wouldn't. Some hate me. Some were like, you're the best thing since last bread. I love you so much. And through that film, I discovered that 70% had been victims of some kind of horrible thing. But 100% have left the abusive husband, started their own businesses, put themselves through school, got help. The alcoholic goes into rehab. I finished my movie. Amazing. Amazing. And I was told by my mentors in Hollywood that I trust, which is 2. That's it. It used to be 3, but he passed away. There's 2. Everybody else, I'm like, I don't think so. Y'all are freaks. Hollywood is so crazy. You should read my book, Dumb Model and Her 4 French Chairs. I tell everything in that. Anyway, so my mentor that I trust in Hollywood told me, do not ever have that documentary fall into the hands of anything in Hollywood, because they'll silence it, they'll squelch it, they'll whatever, they'll steal it, they'll erase it, so don't do that. So I didn't. Okay, so I kept that movie completely independent. You can now watch it for free on my YouTube channel. Please share it with everybody. Could ramp up my YouTube numbers. I have to have 3,000 hours of people watching my stuff on YouTube. How does that work? Watch my movie here. So that movie was a big, huge confessional to me accidentally, because it was about when I talked to all the Angela Sheltons and I found out they'd had histories of child sexual abuse, rape, domestic violence. It turns out one of the Angela Sheltons was tracking sexual predators, and she lived in the same town as my own father, who I hadn't seen since I was 14. And so I went and confronted him on Father's Day as he left for church. What? And that's in the movie. And that is taught in sociology schools around the country. It's actually, my film and my book and my workbook are in curriculums in schools in the United States. It's really cool. And actually, I've been asked to translate it into German and Spanish, and I forget, I want to say Icelandic. My movie actually premiered in Iceland. Random facts. So I was super revealing in my documentary about my own stuff with my dad and my own stuff with my own addictions and stuff. And it was a beautiful film. Like, I'm very proud of that. It saved many lives. I still, to this day, legit get at least one message every single day across all the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever the hell. It's somebody says like, oh my God, that movie, I saw it in school, or a friend gave it to me, or I discovered it, and oh my God, I didn't kill myself, or I was able to face my own stuff. So like, that's a huge service work for me. I'm like, wow, I am so honored and like moved by that. Helped you so much. That's awesome. I wish it helped me. Shit. I'm just kidding. I mean, it does help me. It's great. Everything's great. So I went on the road for over 20 years, actually, learning every single healing technique I possibly could get my hands on, because I didn't want to be in any kind of hypocritical state of like, hey, y'all should watch my movie and get better. But I wasn't better. So I went and like, I stopped self-abuse. I was a self-mutilator. I wrote a book about it, and a self-hater, right? And so I wrote a spiritual healing book, Finding Angela Shelton, about how the documentary made me see my own stuff. And let me tell you, there's some things that people don't know about me unless you know me, that ever since I made that documentary, I have been hit, y'all. I got sued by a perp. I've had death threats. I've had human trafficker people show up at my freaking house. I have, it's been intense. It's been intense. It has both made me into a total warrior and also like, in total fear. It's like, oh my God, really? It's like the world is that messed up? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's messed up. So then I wanted a break. I wanted to be like, I needed a break. So I wrote a bunch of books, and funny books. I moved out to the country. I left LA because Hollywood is full of so many creepy people I can't even imagine. Granted, there's some people that are good, but y'all, I'd get out of there if I were y'all. Anyway, I moved out to the country back where, you know, I'm from the country. So I went back to my country living, which I super love. And I had a child, and I got married. I've since divorced. I've married my high school sweetheart. It was a very, very cute story. And then I started making movies again. I came back into the ring, with the Heart Baby, which is the Hammer. Same movie, different title. Because they changed the title for the Walmart release. I made this movie. It's beautiful. I'm so proud of it. And I also have where you can invite me or just show the movie and play it in your town. And please, in your churches, that movie is really, really important and intense and beautiful. And I learned a lot. So I made this film. It's stunning, beautiful. I'm so proud of it. Didn't get into one film festival that was huge. Got into all the smaller ones and won all the ones that were smaller. But the big ones that like get you into the Hollywood system, which I thought I had already been in. But I guess I have too much of a big mouth and say agents with the scum of the earth. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. Oops, did it. So I wasn't in any of the big film festivals, and you're scratching your head, why? Like, why? And then I find out from one of the programmers that, oh my gosh, we love that movie. I love that movie so much. I'm like hell, why didn't you program it? Oh, well, we all had a meeting. Get this. All the heads of the big film festivals have meetings. I was like, what do you mean you had a meeting? What do you mean you had a meeting? They all had a meeting to decide whether they were going to program it and who was going to go first and they decided together that they were not going to program it in any of their festivals. I want you to hear that. Did you hear what I just said? So all y'all who are paying your film festival fees and stuff, they're not even watching those movies half the time, just FYI. Anywho, so she says, we love that movie. We all decided not to program it because the trans character, who's a true story, dies. Yeah. We can't program a beautiful, unbelievably beautiful true story because a trans person dies in it. I'm like, are you effing kidding me right now? So the true story of how back in 1984, she was actually treated politically correct in prison Everyone, like, it was politically correct that they were doing it correctly. She was a she. She died. And it's a true story. But you're not going to program it in this beautiful true story where that woman who was a born-again Christian introduced all those guys to God. I think that's why you're not programming it. But anyway, unbelievable. So, damn it. Pisses me off. But when you think about something, when you think about like bigger goals and bigger, like, I'm a big faith person, and you're like, I hate to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it. You know, when you're doing God's work, you know, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. Well, we had a distributor for both of the movies, right? So both the movies, Hammer and Eagle. Turns out it was a fraud. It was just like the Fire Festival, right? Just like the Fire Festival, where they're like taking a bunch of money and it's a lie. He had 27 filmmakers, of which he used me to get a lot of them because I had honestly the best movie. And, you know, they thought, ooh, since she's with you, that means you're legit. And I'm like, oh my God, turns out the guy was a total fraud. I worked with the FBI with like 3 other filmmakers that helped put him into prison. But it killed our movies. It killed our, like, the momentum of them. So that happened. He went to prison, served his time, and is out doing the same shit. And me, I went the way that I'm like, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a CAMA. If people don't understand what that is, they're not actually producers. A collection account management agreement. It's like with all the unions, and it's an outside system that collects all the money and then distributes the money to all the residuals to everybody who has a point. Like, you know, when in Hollywood, they're like, I'll give you a point on my movie. Usually that will mean absolutely nothing because the producers will steal the money. Or there'll be creative accounting and you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. This way, when you do an actual for real CAMA, it's ginormous. It has taken so many years to get cleared and approved and signed by all the unions. It's done. It's signed. It's in. It has made money outside of even having the dirty fraud distributor. I found the one. There's one company. It's called 101 Films and Trinity, same company in London. They're the only one that pays filmmakers. I'm like, all the other ones that my friends went to, you got robbed. You know, see, $1, did you? Not $1. Well, so this company actually paid into the CAMA, okay? So the movie, I mean, like, hallelujah, it worked. It came out in 2020, right during the pandemic. So it's like, so that was, killed our theaters. We were selling out in every theater, and then COVID happened, and so that killed our theaters. But it still went word of mouth. So the money from your DVD, thank you so much for buying the DVDs and watching online and paying for it, thank you, goes into this CAMA account, okay? And what has stalled the CAMA account was for years, and I'm not even talking months, I'm talking years, was Screen Actors Guild. God, I can't stand them so deeply. Asking for the same piece of paper. I'm not even joking. They asked for the same piece of paper for months. It'll like 3 months will go by. When do you see that paper? And you're like, I gave you the paper already. You think you're in the Twilight Zone? And I asked my lawyer, I'm like, is this, what the hell is this? Because I happen to have the fancy lawyer that's like George Clooney's lawyer. She's scary. You mention her name and people are like, oh God, you have her? I'm like, what gives? She says, oh, SAG does this to movies. Independent movies. Really? Just holds them up? Yeah, okay. Now, got past that because I put on TikTok my whole story. I just like, I shared it and I was like, this is what they're doing. This is what happens. This is why I am actually sort of twitching. Like you might see me like this, like, because I'm like, oh my God, I have been protecting and championing these movies, paying for their websites myself. Because, you know, I'm the first person there, last person to leave. And when you're holding the goods and they're my movies, I'm stuck with the whole thing. So I've been having to have like 3 jobs at the same time to like keep it going, trying to get paid for the money that's in there. Okay? So that's beyond frustrating to me. And it has been, I have had to have my own catharsis of health to withstand the astronomical stress that this has given me. And just yesterday, Writers Guild, the Writers Guild now, has filed a case against me as the owner of the film for not paying myself residuals that are coming out of the camera. I'm like, yeah, I've been trying to get them to pay out the camera. Like, so I got it. It's working. The money's in there. And now the camera's like, I'm like, what's the problem? Why aren't they paying it out? What's the problem? And so I'm like, this is just another layer of like, why Angela lies on the floor and cries. This would be it. This would be it. I'm not lying on the floor and crying because thank God, here's my little commercial. Thank God I met Jesus. Okay. I actually love Jesus in person, but my friend Sean Gilder, who looks like Jesus, look at him. See, he looks like Jesus. Look, see, he is a health expert, and he's become a big friend of mine, huge friend of mine. That's why I go to Nashville once a month to ride bikes with him. He created 2 things that saved my life, and that's honestly like the stress that is level 13 because of this guy is like 2. He even helped me get out of an asthma attack this morning. When I called him, I'm like, I can't handle the stress, dude. And all natural. He's a you should know this guy. So he created 2 things. One, Lute. Lute is a liquid CBD, and also he has one that's CBG. So my cousin who just got out of the slammer can take it because of his drug tests. You know what I'm saying? You can take that one, the CBG one, or you can take the CBD one, which has got THC in it, and it'll make you happy. But I don't take it for the happy. I take it for the health. I'll take like one little sip of it and it can get me out of an asthma attack in 9 minutes. Also, black seed oil can do the same thing. Amazing. And then he created Regenerate, which is, look at, I'm crying because I'm like, y'all, use my affiliate links. I can have some more. This is GABA, or not GABA. Yo, GABA. It gets GABA to your brain fast. What the hell's GABA, Angela? GABA is the anti-anxiety. It's like the anxiety police in your brain. That when we drink, when we eat bad food, and when we and the pills that people are on, it actually takes the GABA out of your brain. Ironic, isn't that fitting that you're taking the GABA out of your brain with the meds? I mean, don't even get me started on big pharma. So he created a concoction because his girlfriend was addicted to benzos, which is the Xanaxes and all that stuff, Valiums and all that. And he noticed like his girlfriend would suddenly not be his girlfriend anymore. It was a little weird. She started acting crazy. And he realized that he did the research and realized she needed GABA in her brain. And when you take it, when you can go to the grocery store or the health food store and get a bottle of GABA, go start taking it. But it's going to take weeks because it travels up the vagus nerve and it takes weeks to get to your brain. So he developed this way to get it to your brain fast, literally in 10, 15 minutes. It's got niacin in it. You can see all the ingredients. It's like, it gets it to your brain really fast. So you get hot. You get like this hot flush. And it is amazing. This thing is amazing. He's on to something with this. And this will also help me with the anxiety and the panic and just like the overall, I just want to lay on the floor and give up. I'll take this. And actually, I'll mix the 2 of them. I'll put a shot of this and a teaspoon of this in some honey, swirl it up, and take it. That's what saves my life right now. So that's my little commercial of how I deal with this stress is a health way. I used to, honestly, I'm going to be told, I mean, you can ask me anything. I'll tell you the truth. I used to get a bottle of wine and just suck on it and lay on the floor and cry. I mean, that's the truth right there. And ever since I started taking Regenerate, I have not bought wine. So this is expensive. This stuff is $220. But if there's 100 servings, and if you do the math, it's like it actually saves you money because I haven't bought wine. I literally have not bought a bottle of wine since I started taking Regenerate. So this guy saved my life. Jesus saved my life when I had my life just ripped from me with Hollywood. And everything you can imagine. I got called the R word. I got canceled for being a racist, too. That happened, too. I'm like, God, you guys are so dumb. Have you seen any of my movies? Have you seen any of my friends? You're so dumb. But people, like, run on these headlines because people are just so angry. I think it's because of what they're eating and what they're ingesting, right? And then you get hit. You get hit with, like, you do good things in the world and you get hit. I just got hit again this morning. I'm just like, oh my God. There's a part of me that, like, just wants to laugh at it. Like, oh, look at that. And then there's a part of me that wants to cry. And, you know, I'm not laying in the floor drinking anymore. But I did, honestly. Because I was like, I can't handle this stress. I cannot handle this stress. And then there's a part of me that I'm like, fuck all y'all stupid motherfucking assholes. You know what? We're going to circumvent this shit. We're going to figure out a way to avoid all this shit. And put money into the account and pay everybody anyway, you fuckers. Anyway, I had to share because I'm like, so many people are going through so much crap. And then you got health problems on top of it. I've had chronic asthma my whole life. And this guy has helped me get out of it. I have a little bit of like, because it's cold and also because I got really stressed. So, but thank God for Lute. I took a little bit of Lute and I'm like, chill. But look, here's my stress. It's low. I need some more Lute and I need some more Regenerate. So honestly, I just wanted to share that and be like, hey, if you're on my YouTube channel, you know, honestly, I no longer care about the whole, like, you have to have it all be all fancy. You have to follow rules in Hollywood. You have to have the fancy agent and all stuff. Listen, that whole world is so gross. And so, like, I have witnessed when I was in Hollywood, the behind the scenes are honestly the most despicable people I've ever seen in my life, hands down. And I've been to every state and I've been down every highway. And I'm not a part of any political party or any club or anything. I'm not part of any nonprofit. I am a witness and an observer of humans. And I'm telling you that the people in Hollywood that are giving you your media do not know you. First of all, they have only ever been to LA and New York, maybe Chicago, maybe Utah, because they went to Sundance. But other than that, they don't know America at all. And your life that you've got going on and your backyard barbecue and your friends that you're sitting down by the river, you're so lucky. You have it way better. And just the disgust, like they're disgusting people, really, truly. And then you do good things in the world and then you get hit by the same disgusting people. It's so, it's partly infuriating and like fuels me to do more. And partly makes you want to just give up everything and go live in the woods. I'm not even lying. That's where my sister is. My sister's already at that place. She's like, I ain't doing it. But I'm a do-gooder and I want to be on the road and I love people. So I'm like, I've been on the phone with everybody on my email list. Like if you're on my email list, I'm not actually joking at all. I have a little link on there. Book a call with me. I'm serious. Some people are like, was that real? Are you real? I'm like, I'm dead real. I hope I'm not dead. I'm still alive. I'm not on the floor. I'm breathing. I'm mad. I'm mad and frustrated, but also I don't care. Because I have faith. And I've seen how it works. I've seen how being on the road and being with the people, it works. And I used to do it through the system. And now I'm like, I'm just not in the system anymore. I don't trust them. They're a bunch of freaking perps. And so all I can say is, how can I help you have better health and more calm clarity in the face of god-awful things? So I have a lot of tools. I've been through a lot, and I can introduce you to him, and I can help, wherever I can help. And I can definitely, my friends who are filmmakers and authors and artists, I can show you exactly how to avoid being robbed, stunted, blah, blah, blah. I can show you the maze to avoid all the stuff that I went through. Because there is a way to avoid it. There is. And now that I know more of what I know, I'm like, oh man, you jackasses. So if you So I am, oh God, I just had to share. And you know, man, I tell you, it's like, it's like the time that, that perp showed up in my house in LA. Man, that was so scary. And I actually just, that he was part of human trafficking and like a total straight up perp. And let me tell you, white guy, completely, there was not a wrinkle on him. And he'd flown in from another state. So he had to have gone somewhere and starched up everything, which is even more creepy. Picturing him like serial killer level, like starch, like spraying his and starching his collars and stuff. Creepy, real creepy. And like, I think about that a lot. It's like, that froze me in fear. Like, I just went into like, you know, you either fight, freeze, flee, or fawn. And I definitely froze. I was like, I'm invisible. And that was terrifying and also eye-opening. And, you know, I have fought with the system for so many years, like so many years. And won, like, I mean, and succeeded. And like, I moved past it and I have amazing films. Granted, you know, I'd like them to pay out. That would be amazing. There's money in there. I can log in and see it. I'm like, hey, look, there's money in there. When does it start coming out? When does that work? God dang. So I brought up that perp because it's like you freeze, fight, fawn, and what is it? I'm sick. I have a cold. No, I'm not. I'm not sick at all. I'm sick in the head. I just had to share that. Fight, freeze, fawn. What was the other one? Phonetic? What is that? Fight, freeze, fawn. I don't remember. I just had to share that because I'm like, man, when you get hit, I mean, really, it's like when you get hit with like something so scary or so stressed out, like the stress is at a 13. My friend right now is facing death, you know? And it's like, well, okay, well, that's scary, you know? What do you do right now? So I was like, I was just going to reach out to y'all and just say, hey, on my YouTube, this is me. And I just got hit again, which is comical. I'm like, I love that you filed a case against myself for not paying myself. But I have actually paid myself. It's in there. I can log in and look at it. So maybe you should talk to them of like, hey, when do they pay it out? When's that work? Wow. So, and I got to give a shout out to 101 Films in London. They are literally the only company. I went to all of them and researched all of them, met all of them. They're all a bunch of crock shit liars. They really are. And there's a company in London that actually pays filmmakers and pays their overages, and it has paid. Granted, you know, the film failed because it lost its momentum, and then it got hit, and then it got like all these obstacles put in front of it. Hammer much more than Eagle. Eagle and the Albatross is a cute little golf comedy. Please play that in your if you have like golf places that you go to that have bars. Put it up in the on the TV in the bar on Amazon Prime and just have it in repeat. Because we get 10 cents per hour watched. Just put it on repeat in the bar. God. Yeah. So like you get robbed from every angle and you get lied to from every angle. It's amazing to me. I mean, just look at the world right now. Look at our own government, like we're lied to. Like they are a bunch of freaking liars. This is just like the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, wow, how do you survive this, y'all? How the F do you survive this? And I'm sharing me. I'm surviving it by not killing myself, by not laying on the floor drinking. I'm regenerating. I mean, honestly, regenerating and Lute. This is some gold right here. This is gold. Look, I only have a little bit left. I only have a little bit left. Come on. Yeah, so this is my commercial for Jesus of how I'm staying sane. But it's also, the stress is still there. It's still there. It's just at a 2 instead of 13. So I had to share that. Anybody else going through hell or getting hit, and people in family court know exactly what I'm talking about. You think you get like so far ahead, and then you get hit again. And anyway. And also, be on my email list. No offense, but I don't want you on my email list unless you're going to actually be connected with me. Like, says I want the human connection. I don't want I'm not out here just to be like, anyway, look at this, buy this, no, I'm into like super legit changing lives and sharing what I've known and learned so that you can go faster and have more fun than I did. For real. So whether you're a filmmaker or author or have one of these awesome nonprofits out there that you need help with, I'm actually going to go speak to a bunch of offenders in prison. So like, you never know what's going to happen. I encourage you to stay connected with me. It is very fun to be on the phone with me. It's 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour. We're on phone. We're going to talk about what we're going to do. Because we have got to circumvent the layers of perps and bullshit. Like perps and lies. I mean, it's layered, y'all. It's like a phyllo dough pastry of lies and perps. It's unbelievable to me. And it partly makes me want to laugh and partly makes me want to cry. So you feel me? And so I just wanted to share that. And I'm here, like, I have one of those like seasonal colds, and also because I got super stressed out. And so I just took some Regenerate, and I'm about to take some Lute and get to work on a bunch of editing that I'm doing. And I'm talking to like 5 other people today. So, you never know what's going to happen. And I appreciate you getting over your own fears so that you can have more fun and be more free. Because listen, we need to be more free right now because holy shit, we're in the chaos phase. Yeah. Have you noticed that our government got taken over and we're in the chaos phase? Anybody noticed that? Anybody aware of that? Yeah, it's a whole other discussion. But it's also related to like the lies that we live in. It's unbelievable. So I'll tell you the truth, and I'll tell you anything. Ask me anything. I'm like, I don't, from what I do with men to, the myriad of bullshit I've been through in Hollywood. And oh my God, I'll give you the names to avoid. I'll tell you who to avoid. That's for sure. and how you can make it work. 101 Films. God bless you. So anyway, and bless Jesus. That's my long-winded, I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just going to be like, and be on my email list. I've just changed my whole websites. I just took down it all because, why? Why, Angela? Why? Because I have been paying so much money for the films, each film itself, for its own bills, its own websites. And it's like, oh my God, I just redid everything, and I'm learning how to maneuver that and how to have it be succinct, and I can show you, like, I go first and then show you how to make it easier on yourself. And I love helping those people who are in their businesses trying to make a living with what you love. You can do it. And, but it takes some calm clarity. And today I'm having calm clarity because of Regenerate and Lute. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Because I just got a suit filed against myself for not paying myself. What? Like what? Okay. That makes all the sense in the world. Y'all make so much sense. You do. Anyway, I love you. Hit me up. Book a call to, you have to pick a time. I've got a special fancy calendar now. I synced it with my own calendar. So when you pick a time, it'll show up on my calendar. You know what I'm saying? I love you, Rebel Stars. Thank you for watching. I'm going to be okay. Please see my movies. Oh, God. I love you. Bye.